Housing situation in our region is catastrophic.
Housing is the biggest issue that we struggle with.
We've been facing skyrocketing rent costs over the last few years, and vulnerable populations are really bearing the brunt of that. The COVID-19 pandemic has only increased these issues.
Housing affordability, even in affordable housing, continues to be a struggle.
Most of my clients need housing, unfortunately.
To get into subsidized housing, you can wait 5, 7, 10 years on waiting lists.
Our city is already facing a homelessness crisis, and we really, as a community, need to think about the long term.
Our department in Jewish Family Service almost serves like the canary in the coal mine. When there's a community crisis, we start getting calls.
The pandemic is having a pretty profound impact on all of our clients.
To see the depth of desperation, that people are coming to us with has been really hard.
Many of our clients are working in entry-level service industry jobs that were immediately hit when the pandemic started, and so we're immediately in financial crisis.
There's a huge increase in people who never have utilized services in the past. People just like you and me, people that have worked their whole lives, families. It's been an incredibly sad thing to see.
In my experience, healing for my clients starts with housing.
Housing stability is really the basis for any stability for our families.
We do continuously get new referrals of clients that are about to become homeless. Our goal is to get people into affordable housing so that they're not as impacted, but even clients in affordable housing continues to be a struggle.
What they call affordable housing, what they build now, is unaffordable.
Some affordable housing is based on area median income, and our area median income continues to increase as people with resources move into our area. Some buildings can be over $1,000. And we have clients who are in SSI, which is 783. So that's not a possibility for that client.
How these people survive? Barely.
We have one client, for example, lives in affordable housing, but the rent has continued to go up more than their Social Security. I just talked to him maybe 2 weeks ago, and he had a $900 bill for medications that he wasn't sure how he was going to pay.
For them to transition into subsidized housing is very, very difficult. We get them on those waiting lists. We help them check in on those waiting lists. You have to check in every month for years. So our case managers track that with clients very closely because we don't want them to lose their spot.
Without providing really significant subsidies for those individuals who have no ability to increase their income, you're going to continue to have people who are facing an affordable housing crisis.
During COVID, the difficulties are much more challenging. Shelters are overcrowded. Because of COVID, many of them have limitations.
The moratorium was put in place on evictions within weeks of the pandemic arriving, recognizing that now was not a time for people to be without housing.
I have 2 clients who are not homeless only because there is eviction ban. Both of them are in their mid-70s, disabled. One of them has cancer.
Having lost their source of income, many families have quickly gone into debt.
People who have maybe lost their job or needing to stay home because their kids are unable to go into school, these people are needing not only 1 month's rent, like what we've seen before the COVID crisis, but they're needing, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 months rent.
So we are working right now to help people try to keep abreast, try to keep current of where they are, or to minimize the rent that they have.
So many of the landlords, particularly of more affordable apartments, are small-time, small-scale landlords who are also suffering during this time. They depend on that rent.
Those small private landlords are also our clients at this point.
This is of paramount interest to keep landlords afloat, to keep their affordable units available in the community.
10 months into the pandemic, families have accumulated months of rental debt with their landlord. The eviction moratorium is scheduled to end in December, and we are on the edge of a massive crisis.
Our clients, some are kept up at night wondering what will happen when that moratorium is lifted. Our staff are kept up at nights wondering what will happen.
I'm very worried that once moratorium ends, my clients and other vulnerable people will be thrown on the street.
We are all very concerned about what the winter will bring.
The worst is probably yet to come. Steadily each week, we're getting more and more requests.
If we are not able to stem the tide, I very seriously worry that we are going to be thousandfold adding to our issues of homelessness.
We talk about really reaching for what we can do and touching the piece that we can do, because it's so hard.